guys, and welcome back to the podcast. I have been loving seeing you listen to the episodes and just bringing you on this new sort of journey and sharing that is definitely coming from a really authentic and heart-centered space. So yeah, I've just been loving sharing my truth, sharing what I've been learning, loving seeing you guys listen to it and hearing your feedback. It's been truly amazing. So I just wanted to say thank you to everyone that has followed the podcast and who has left a little review. It makes my heart happy. And talking about the heart, today's podcast episode, we are going to dive into how to master love and be happy. It sounds simple, although love is one of the most complex things, and also just being happy, something that we are born with and something that is our birthright, can also seem difficult at times and also feels like this thing that we're always striving for. Like if you ask people what their biggest goals are in life, it's to be happy. Like it's this thing that is so far out of reach and like unavailable to us, or something we have to work towards, when really happiness and love is within us. And so love is literally the essence of our being. And so mastering the art of love, for me, is the key to unlocking our fullest potential. And when we unlock our fullest potential and really live from our hearts, we will experience the most joy and fulfillment that life has to offer. And I was thinking about this episode, and I always love to speak about what's going on in my own life and my own heart and what I'm journeying through. And I was thinking about what are the principles, or what is the foundation to create healthy relationships and the sense of happiness or inner peace. Because I feel like when we're at peace within ourselves, this is when we are truly happy. And I've spoken about self-love a lot before on this podcast, but this for me is the foundation for where all love and relationships should come from, because you first have to work through anything within yourself that is like stopping you from unconditionally loving yourself. So these beliefs that we have on ourselves, these thoughts, this negative self-talk or negative behaviors, like we first have to work through any of these things that are stopping us from loving ourselves, and then practice self-acceptance for maybe the shadow parts of us or the past or any of these things that are really just like holding us back from fully loving ourselves, because we have to first fully love ourselves before we try and love someone else. And this could be if you're calling in a partner, or even if you're in a relationship and you really just want to deepen it and experience a kind of love that you didn't even think was possible. Like it truly is. But you first have to realize that you cannot give to others what you do not have within you. You can love people, right? But if it's coming from a place of lack, it's inauthentic. And we often try to give to others or overgive something that we actually want, that we feel is missing within us. And when you actually cultivate that within yourself and realize that you don't need anything from someone else, because all the love in the world is within you. Any love that we do give is so pure. And then the love that we actually receive from our partners almost like overflows into a cup. If you think of a cup of water and it's so filled up that anything on top just overflows. And this is how then we can give and give and give and receive without feeling like we're overgiving and making ourselves empty. And you first have to start embracing this like worth within yourself by letting go of these beliefs or these judgments on yourself, because you find like also when you don't have any self-judgment, like you're not judging yourself, you're not going to be judging your partner for his or her actions. You're not going to be judging other people, because you will just feel so happy and so, conscious within your own thoughts. And you see the other person as this other being, this other human, this spirit just out there trying to do their best. And we can be a mirror for those people. So if we're going to mirror people, we want to make sure that everything within us has been almost cleaned out in a way. And so that you're not, talking negatively to yourself or lacking self-love and then trying to get that off someone else, because that's going to give out a really needy energy. And the masculine especially can pick up on that, because it makes us as women come across as almost like insecure. First, start embracing this inherent worth that you have within you, like realizing that you are so worthy of everything and all the love and that beautiful relationship. And this will open your heart to love. And when you open your heart to love, it cultivates this deep compassion and acceptance, not only for ourselves, but for everyone around us, which will then help us to connect. This is even with like friendships, but especially relationships. When you are living from an open heart, people can feel that. They can sense that you don't have any walls up around you. You're not trying to hide something. Like, how often have you been connecting with someone, maybe you're dating or whatever, and you can just have this feeling that they're not fully letting you in, or there's a part of them that they're hiding, or they don't want to let you fully in to connect on the deepest level possible. And so it's so important that we embody that first, and we start living from an open-hearted place so people can feel that and trust. So if they are, guarding their heart, or they do have walls up, they're going to be able to let them down, because they're going to be able to trust you. And opening our hearts is the key, I believe, to, oh my God, I just had a revelation, like the heart and the key, right? And the key opens the heart, right? But it's the key to unconditional love. It's like, it's free from expectations of another person. It's free from demands, and it's free from attachment. And true love really is not based on possession or control, but it thrives off freedom and respect and mutual understanding. And the masculine needs freedom. So when you can live from a place of trust within yourself, you can trust your partner, and then this creates more polarity in the relationship. I was listening to a podcast recently, and on the podcast they said, you can have trust or control, but you can't have both. And let me tell you, this floored me. Like, you can have trust or control, but you can't have both at the same time. Like, there's no way that you can try and trust your partner and then control them at the same time, because then you are not trusting them, right? So I reflected back on my last sort of situationship, relationship, whatever you want to call it. And I can see, because I did not trust this man, I was trying to overcompensate as a form of control without consciously realizing it. So I never controlled him in the way you think of the word control, of like telling someone what they can or can't do. But then I found myself overgiving and like trying to give more and more and more of myself as a way to, I was trying to not control him, but like I wanted something from him because I didn't trust him, actually. And then this comes back to me and myself on how I can trust myself to be able to discern these things and discern someone else's behaviors and see if they're doing anything that is creating a feeling of unsafety in me. Especially as a woman, we need to feel safe with the masculine. If someone is doing something that's making me feel unsafe, I trust myself and my intuition and these gifts as a woman to know, to either communicate, to walk away, to take a step back, whatever it is that I need to do. And so for me, like when I talk about this like past relationship and this overgiving, I think of this empty cup of, I'm not coming from a place of overflow because I'm not also receiving that trust, right? So there's a lack in there. And you can relate to me on this one if you either were in a situationship or relationship or are in one now, where you can really see that there are parts of you that either want to control or are controlling or did control, and recognize that relationships, they need to be rooted in trust and authenticity and genuine connection. So sometimes a conversation, if you're really in it right now, a conversation might need to be had to really talk about it on how you can cultivate and build this trust. But first it has to start within you to build that trust within yourself. And, look at those unhealed parts within you that either aren't speaking up or aren't trusting. Maybe you've been wounded in the past and now you're struggling to trust someone. It's like, look at these parts within you first and then communicate it. Forgiveness and honest communication and awareness are all essential to build and to build trust and intimacy with any connection. So if you're trying to call in a partner and you haven't forgiven parts of yourself or your past, and you're not able to authentically communicate, there's no way that you're going to be able to build a solid relationship with that foundation of trust where it's really grounded and rooted and you're really there together as a team, and the giving and receiving is of equal energetic exchange. Because I speak always honestly, right? I speak what I've gone through, and I had a big abandonment wound. And when we have an abandonment wound, for example, we might not speak our truth when we are, fearful or wary of someone's behaviors, right? Because we are afraid that we're going to lose them, which then just perpetuates this cycle of not trusting and controlling. Whereas if you healed that abandonment wound within yourself, you would have no problem whatsoever speaking up and speaking your truth if you felt unsafe. Because if that person chose to leave, you would know that they were not meant for you, and you are a whole person and you are perfectly beautiful with or without them, right? So start to question your own beliefs and behaviors that might be limiting you, right? Limiting your capacity to not only love, but to be loved fully. Because like I said, if you had things in your past that you're still holding on to, you're not going to be able to fully let love in. So when you become aware of your patterns and let go of the fear and insecurity, you then create lasting and conscious relationships, which is why I feel we are listening to this podcast. And it's why I'm recording it. I sometimes feel like I'm recording for myself because I just want to hear these words, and I've had nowhere to find them, and I've had to go and seek them and really seek within myself and journey within myself to understand masculine and feminine polarity, understand shadow work and trauma and healing, and really deep diving to the absolute depths of it all to really embody it, and then be able to confidently share what I know and share this truth and this knowing of that we are all here to love and to be loved and to live from a place of love and come back to our hearts and remember and really remember. And remember, we're also only human. And I find myself, I say all these things about healing and doing all this work. It's true, right? But there's duality to that, right? And there are times in my life where I question, connections and situations, and I get triggered, and I'm a woman. So sometimes I create fake scenarios in my head because that's what women do sometimes. I'm like, men, do men do this? I'd really love to know if men just create these fake situations in their head that haven't even happened, and you've created a whole story and a narrative, and you've already phoned or voice noted two of your best friends, and you could be angry at this person and they've not even done anything. Oh, it's so funny when you can zoom out of that and laugh at yourself and really just come back to the heart and just know the truth, and also know that everything is happening for you and not to you, and trust in the timing of things, right? And let things unfold without the need to control them, right? This feminine essence and energy I spoke about in my last podcast. But yeah, like I said, we're only human. We're only women, and it's coming back to our heart and living from this love and trust that we're able to call in our partners, or to cultivate and build a really, incredible relationship that actually lasts. Because in this sort of age that we're living in, these lasting relationships are hard to come by. And I believe that we have to be an embodiment of what we want. And it's really easy to say that relationships don't work, for example, or everyone breaks up, or everyone cheats, or whatever these fake stories that I hear are. And it's up to us, and it's up to the work that we do on ourselves and then in relationships, because relationships are work, right? It takes work to really work together, to work through things, to overcome things, to build trust, build intimacy, to keep that spark going and that fire alive in a relationship, and really decide to love together and love one another and make a commitment to each other to keep on showing up in love. And every time we stray from our hearts, to really be able to see each other and remember why we're here, remember why you made that commitment. But if you're like myself and you're really calling in that partner, and you're really holding that prayer, holding that vision, that manifestation, just keep on becoming it. that is the biggest piece of advice I can give you on like how to master love and to be happy, is to become it and realize that it's within you and you are worthy of it and all of these things. And this is what will call this partner in, or you know, help you live from the heart and create this relationship with yourself and relationship with another to create this happy and fulfilling life. Because you will feel so fulfilled when you know that you're just living from your heart, you're living authentically, and the happiness and love and joy will truly be so real that other people will feel it. So I hope you have enjoyed today's podcast. I really loved recording it. When I thought about it and dropped in, I was like, yes, this is exactly what I want to talk about today. So I hope even one person that listens needed to hear that as well. I always leave a question box on the Spotify podcast to hear what you guys think. If you wanted to leave a little comment, let me know any topics you would love to hear about. If not, I will be back next week. Thank you so much again, and I love you lots.